Hey, I'm Lydia Isnanto and this is Dreampreneurs Chat. It's a show where I chat with dream chasers all around the world who make their passion their paycheck and loving the risk they took and the job they do. It's a beautiful thing when a career and a passion come together. On this show, I chat with Sofia Bee, a beauty educator who has over 15 years of experience in makeup and beauty industry. A strong believer that every woman is gorgeous.
For a self-made woman like me.
Okay, hi guys, welcome back to Dreampreneurs Chat Show. So today we have another amazing makeup beauty and her name is Sofia. We would like to know what is your business and what is your passion?
My biggest passion is actually being a beauty educator because I've been in beauty industry for so long. And what I understood is being passionate about and teaching because I would always have questions. How do you do this? How does your makeup always stay perfect? How do you do your 5-minute makeup? Literally, that's what I did today.
Yeah, so you mentioned to me today, you also have working, like you have a full-time, not full-time, part-time work, and you just finish at 3, and you do a 5 minutes makeup.
Yes.
Ta-da!
5-minute makeup. Literally, I just, did the hair really fast, and that's what I created, doing 5-minute makeup.
Right.
Today, I was actually asking my friends, like, what do they think about me? Because a lot of times, it's the best way to find out who you are, right? Some said, oh, you're a makeup artist. No, actually, I'm a beauty educator where I'm very passionate about what I do, and I make sure that I teach the skills of what I do. And I strive for knowledge, and I want to give my knowledge away to everyone and anyone I know. Because we're going into future, we're going into different environments, whatever some countries and people are thinking, but it's very important, sustainable beauty, clean beauty, something that we can trust and something that's not harmful for us. So I think it's very important to be taught correctly what you can apply, how to apply it, and why are you applying this on your skin.
Right.
Because skin is the biggest organ we have. So we have to take care of what we have.
And Sofia, could you tell us what is your business right now?
Right now, I do weddings, I do special events, I do classes. My clients, I either come to their house or they come to me, or sometimes I do events where I teach, a group of girls, sometimes even guys, how to...
Even guys, wow.
Well, absolutely, because I think a lot of times guys don't know how to take care of their skin. We all have skin issues. A couple guys have rosacea problems. So they have redness and they want to know what kind of skincare they can use to cover it and make it better. So, and since I have an aesthetic background, it definitely helps me to find, share my knowledge and tell them like, okay, this is, you can do this, but have a little tint, something that's going to cover you from the sun, but at the same time is going to cover your redness. So, and how to improve it, because a lot of times people don't know if they didn't do this all their life. Right. That's how I feel. I've been doing this all my life.
All your life, wow. Yeah, you mentioned to me that you have this, like, how do you find out, like, a lot of people still finding out what actually my passion. But when I talk with you today, when I meet you, that's it, you know it. This has been my passion for years. So when was that the first time you know it?
I think it's because my mom's best friend was an esthetician. So I literally grew up in, the fridge full of masks and different skincare and different, just different those bottles. And I would always wonder, like, what is all of this? And then I grew up in a salon, whereas like I see my mom doing facials and they would take care of her skin and everything. So I always felt it's like magical place because they had so many different ampoules and this and that, which is very exciting, especially for a little girl. And when I told my mom, you know, when I was like 16, between 16 and 19, I'm like, I'm really interested, you know, to be in this field. And she's like, absolutely, I think you should go into this. Actually, my mom was very supportive of me going into beauty world. She thought it would be a good career for me, you know, and since then, and then I came to the United States. I grew up in a place, I mean, it was used to be Soviet Union, and we didn't have much makeup, period. So when I came in 99 to America and I went to that MAC store, it was like sun is shining, things are just changing. And back then it was like really tiny store, but to me it felt huge. It felt like, oh my God, this is just heaven. What just happened?
Yeah.
So since, you know, even so I was exposed to aesthetic part of, you know, of beauty, I actually just that moment, I'm like, I'm in love, that's where I want to be, and I want to be a makeup artist. It's a very hard path. So for anyone who wants to be a makeup artist, it's not easy. But looking back now, it's going to be almost 20 years. I wouldn't change it because the real struggles of being in this business is finding your audience that can relate to you, finding those people that are going to support you, and finding creative ways to find your clients, because you don't want to just attract clients. You actually want to make it cinematic. You want to make it as a movie. You want to make it as a story. How do you bring that story about you? Why should they care about you? Because there's so many makeup artists. There's so many things that, you know, a person can choose. Why should they care about you and your journey and your knowledge? Yeah. And why should they come back to you time after time and only come back to you? So I think it's not just my struggle. I think it's any business struggle, anyone's struggle. My passion and why I care so much, because you know what? It might sound cliche, but you really have to do something you love. Because every business, no matter what kind of business you're in, you're gonna have ups, you're gonna have downs, you're gonna have things that maybe, you know, you hoped for, but it's just the way it is. So in the end, you just kind of forget about all of it, good, bad, great, wonderful, and horrible. You just go and do what you love. For me, it's actually educating. For me, it's actually sharing my knowledge and sharing like how to create this 5-minute makeup, because it's something I'm very passionate about, and I go to sleep thinking about it. I wake up thinking about it. Even if I don't have a bride, if I don't have a client, if I don't have a, you know, education the next morning, I'm thinking what kind of look I want to create today in the morning. And this is kind of like my lullaby when I go to sleep. And you know, like those bags that said, I wake up for makeup, it's me. And I saw that bag in Target. Wow. I'm like, oh my God, I wish I got my hands on it, because I literally wake up for makeup, because it's something very exciting. It's not about you trying to be, you know, you don't have confidence. No, not at all. I think makeup and just being that person in the beauty world, it actually gives you power. It gives you empowerment. And it's not just for girls, it's for guys and for teens and for, you know, little ones, because we need to protect them. You know, we need to protect them from the sun. And yes, you will cover your skin a little bit, but it's fine. But it gives you like this flawless look. Why not? I've been in the beauty world for so long, but you know, to really just say, okay, I want to go into this full force. I think that first step, when you're really realizing there's no other options. This is what you do. You're not looking, you know, right? You're not looking left. You're really doing this. Because I think a lot of times when people are doing, they just finding this, oh, but I could do this, but then I could do that. You really have to put your mind and say, this is it. There's no other things that I want to do in life. and this is what I'm going to be doing. And we did move around. We actually lived in Seattle a little bit, Oregon, and Florida, and in San Diego. We came back because mine and his family are here, and and we had a child.
Yes.
So that's definitely is a challenge, because as an artist and dream chaser, that could take you setback. And that's not good or bad. It's just like, okay, this is your time to be with your child. And now she's 11, which is awesome, because we pretty much kind of like doing it together now. It's like now we're like a team,
yeah.
because she looks at me and she sees what I'm doing. And we did the Instagram together. So like she has her own Instagram, and she's learning from me, learning how to do posts, and she wants to be a model, actress. She sees how hard this is a lot of work. So it's not just like, oh, here's a post and voila, things are happening. No, she sees it's a lot of work. She needs to put some thought into what she's doing, and I want her to have that type of like a work ethic. I think no matter what you do, without being a hardworking person and really work, and nothing can happen.
Could you share with us what is the most challenge that you encounter with your client and you overcome it as well? Like, is there any tough challenge between you and your client about within this industry, makeup industry? Yeah.
Absolutely. I think any clients, it doesn't matter which industry they are, I think it's the trust.
Okay.
I think it's the trust that you are truly professional, you know what you're doing. And when you recommend something, you recommend because you see their skin issues, you see their face structure, you see their, what color for their brows, right? So you really have to make yourself as worthy of their trust. But for example, when they're sitting in that chair, so the clients would say, oh, are you the makeup artist? The best way, I used to work at Nordstrom in their beauty department. And you know what? Number one thing that will overcome any problems, any things that they might have in mind, you just smile. You just put that positive energy.
Yeah.
And you just tell them the knowledge. Like if you, and that's why I think I became such an educator. And when they're sitting and they sometimes almost like kind of look at you this way, and then you start telling, it's like, okay, why I'm choosing this, because, and I go into details why I'm choosing. By the end of the session, by the end of I'm done with them, it's just like a day and night. And a lot of times I don't even take it to, kind of like seriously to myself, because a lot of times you don't know what happened in their day. Whatever happens, and that's why I'm just smiling, just putting that positive attitude. And you know what? You do the best you can. And if you do the best you can, then it just becomes you. It's like, it's more like what you give and what you take, right? It's a two-way road. Of course, you're going to have people that just had a bad day. No matter what you do, it's just, that's how it is. But as long as you did the best you can, that's what matters.
So you mentioned that you have found a coach. So tell us about your experience about, between you and coach, and how does it supporting you in your business, and probably for the audience who also currently doing a freelance job, designers, makeup, beauty, photographers who do the editing all the time behind the laptop, battling with your own mind.
Absolutely. When they say the enemy is you, it's so true. I mean, I can't even tell you how many times I stopped myself from doing what I love for so many years. And the hardest decision was actually go full force to do what I love. I feel like you're like this fish bowl, fish in this bowl, right? And you're like swimming in the bowl, and you just swimming and swimming and swimming and trying to get, I don't know if it's like that side, left side, I don't know what side you're trying to get on, whatever it is. But that constructive criticism that the coach does is so valuable, because that's what takes you from that level in your bowl to the next. But see, a lot of times, and I thought like that myself. Oh, that coach, they're gonna show me a way. They're gonna tell me how those people got so successful, or how they got so many followers, how they got this. The truth of the matter, you do 99% of the work. And we talked about it a while ago, and she said, you know what the secret to success? There's no secret.
Yeah.
There is seriously no secret. The secret to success is your dedication, your work ethic, and how much do you really want it? How much do you want to bring, yourself, your passion, your knowledge, yourself into whatever you're doing? Because that is the most important. The most important is you and how people relate to you. So they want to come back only to you and nobody else. So that's the secret to success. The secret to success is a lot of work. But see, a lot of times it's not just working hard, it's working smart.
That's really good. And Sofia, so for dream chasers out there, I see you that you have this passion for 20 years and finally you go full force of it. And I'm sure there's so many dream chasers that already know this is something that I like, but I don't know, like they still not sure and a lot of fear. So what advice can you give, for them to have that courage like you have to go full force?
Find the people that support you. Without the support, first it was my coach. I think she believed in me more than probably I believed in myself and my family. The coach and my mom, those are my biggest believers in me. I think they believe in me more than I believed myself, especially in the beginning. I would say the first 6 months were the crucial, the most hardest, months of when you're trying to almost kind of get to that little tiny step, right? But just keep hanging on, because if you have even tiny bit of a doubt of, actually I'm really good at that particular thing, why should I even just be in that such a hard position? It's so hard. It's like I can't. Do not ever say yourself you can't, because you can, because that's passion, that spark in your eyes, that fire. You will, it makes other people just fired up too. They're like, oh my God, I want to be her. Sometimes I'm thinking, I want to be myself too. I just see that spark and I'll do a story and I'll do something wow, that's me. Sometimes it's so unbelievable because, and the best advice, when I was in school, when I was doing aesthetic school in America, we had this amazing teacher, Mrs. Lynch. I'll never forget her in my life. And she did the best advice: fake it till you make it. Absolutely. Really, you have to fake it, because then it becomes true nature to you. Then it becomes what, I always did that. I can't see myself doing anything else in my life. This is what I did. I did it all my life. And you smile and you go and you bring on that spark. Whatever you do, if you're a happy person, go with the happy person. If you're that spunky person, go with the spunky. If you're artistic and you have pink hair, go with the pink hair. It doesn't matter. It's what matters is you just keep going, and just there's no secrets to anything, and find a network. Because I was just kind of I was doing corporation jobs. I was in sales for a long time. Trust me, I did a whole bunch of different stuff, but I literally took myself and put that in this meeting, and I found supporters. I found those people who said, you know what, you can, and showed the way. It's just those people came to you for a reason, because they showed you can do this. So do not lose hope and just go for the dream.
I'm totally agree with that. And the power of not giving up, that's really true for every entrepreneur. For listeners out there who might also interest in makeup and beauty and have passion like you have and want to empower themselves with the knowledge, where can they find you?
Both on Instagram and on Facebook. It's Beauty by Sofia Bee, and my website is coming, my Pinterest is coming, and my ebook is almost done. So I'm gonna put the link to my bio in my Facebook and in my Instagram. So definitely sign up for my be the first person to receive my ebook.
All right, that's really great. So thank you so much, Sofia. I mean, I really appreciate of meeting you today and for having you sharing with all of us. So guys, don't be afraid to follow and be focusing to what you like to do and your passion, because you matter, your passion matter. All right guys, hope you guys enjoy this session. Thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned for the upcoming Dreampreneurs Chat show. Bye.
Bye guys, thank you.
For a self-made woman like me.
This podcast is available on iTunes and other major podcast platforms. If you like this show, please subscribe and give your rating and review on iTunes. That means a lot to help the show keep going. You can also watch the video podcast series at youtube.com/Lydia Isnanto. See you on the next brand new chat. Until then, remember to share your story with someone, because you never know how one sentence of your life story could inspire others to rewrite their own.